Hello and welcome to another Warcrafty audio commentary. Today we're going to be watching games from patch 1.24. There are a couple of changes that have happened since then, nothing too major. Mainly human buildings are going to be weaker in this because, like I talked about this a couple minutes because this is actually being streamed right now live on twitch.tv/Furby. I'm going to try to start doing that every night. But I'm also going to try to put the games from Twitch on over to YouTube, so we'll see how that works out. That's also why, unfortunately, there won't be 720p for these games. Like I've said before in the past, my internet, not so great in the summer, so I'm trying to cut corners where I can, hopefully to produce more content for you guys to watch, which will be fun. So you can watch it live or on the YouTube at your leisure, however you feel like doing. Now, like I said, going back to this, it is 1.24. These games were played this month. They're not old games. They are recent. They just are played on a Chinese client, which uses some of the channels. They have Runes channels, kind of like GnayCiGam, but some of them are old patch, and this is 1.24. So like I said, the main things that we're going to need to note, just to keep in mind, are that the human players, their buildings are going to be a bit stronger in this because masonry was nerfed from 20% per level to 10% per level on the live version, so in this one it's still 20%. That's really the main change. The other things are mainly minor because we're not going to see a warden in the game. Of course, the Shadow Strikes mana went up to 75 mana. In this game it would be 65, but I don't think we're going to see that. And that's about the rundown of it. I mean, I don't think if we do see some siege engines, they also give them less XP in this patch than they do on live. And if we see a Tome of Experience, it'll get 100 experience rather than 150, which is what it'll give 150 on this patch rather than 100, which is what you have on live. So those are the changes, those are the major changes. Let's go ahead and introduce our players because we are rounding into the 2-minute mark of the game. We do have GnayCiGam. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. He is going to be playing the Red Night Elf in the upper left position of Turtle Rock, sure. And his opponent is going to be A1 Soke, or Sok. I think it's A1 Sok, who is going to be spawning in the lower left. He is the blue human. And I'm pretty sure that this is actually eMaLfans. I'm pretty sure this is a player. If I'm wrong, don't hate me, but I think it is indeed eMaLfans. Also, sadly, he will be joining the army in about 2 months, which is big shame. But hey, it's mandatory duty, so they gotta do it. Glad that we've had him as long as we have. Over here we can see there's a footman harassing some wisps in the Night Elf player's base. He's going to get that one to run away. He's not really going to chase it. He just wants to have to force the elf player to have to keep trying to send back, split the elf player's attention from his creeping down here to his base by having to micro wisp. And furthermore, when they're having to move away out of the base, they are not getting wood. Also, the elf player going to immediately start teching. Of course, he did do a simple AOW creep, and now with this Demon Hunter at level 2, he's going to have to come back in here and deal with this footman. So this footman is doing a lot of stuff in this game. Really nice. Down here we can see that Sok, or I'm probably going to say eMaLfans because I'm pretty sure that's who it is. He's just going ahead and he's creeping up, just pretty standard human, minus this thing over here, which is, you know, it's fairly standard as well. Oh, and he's going to come right down this way where the Demon Hunter cannot chase him. The Demon Hunter doesn't have boots, but he could probably chase that footman down if he really wanted to. He is slightly faster than it, I believe, but it would take him a while, and he probably wouldn't kill it. He might, but it would be all the way over here. So unless he was intending to go over there, might as well not do that. Now we can see that Mr. eMaLfans, or Sok, is indeed going to run over to the shop, probably going to try to pick up a nice Boots of Speed from the Goblin shop, which would be nice. Goes ahead and sells Slippers of Agility, decides he doesn't need that, picks up Boots of Speed as well as Dust of Appearance. With Boots of Speed on that hero, he's pretty much not going to have to worry about that Demon Hunter chasing him down too terribly much. He still is at Town Hall Tech. He is going to go right ahead and go for the expansion. Shouldn't be too much of a problem, except maybe it is. I don't know. That's a lot of archers is the only thing. It's going to be really hard to get towers up with this many archers, but creeping this out shouldn't be too bad. I mean, there's going to be a Demon Hunter there, so he's going to take some losses for this, but he's willing to take losses because he's putting up the expansion. Using a lot of militia here, as you can see, going to micro some of those low HP ones on out of here, including Footman. If he doesn't lose anything, that would be really nice, because this is kind of a big jack, in all honesty. He's going to be able to even micro that Footman out at 87 HP. It sounds like we have an archer going down. Did he have to use a dust? No, he didn't, so he still has that. He's going to try to be careful about finishing off this Gargantua and Sea Turtle, because he doesn't want it stolen from him. The Demon Hunter is coming in to try to get it. Will the Demon Hunter get the experience for it? Oh, yes, he will. And who gets the items? It looks like the Archmage will pick up the items, which is a potion of invulnerability, which is 15 seconds of invulnerability. It's a very nice item. And the Demon Hunter's going to be able to take down a Peasant. Going to have to be a little bit careful here and not get surrounded, but Sock's not really even trying to do that. He does have these archers right here trying to slow this down. This is where a lot of the major damage is coming in from the human player onto the, or from the elf player onto the human player, because during the creep, there was all those militia. He couldn't really do a whole lot. He had to wait for that to go down. Then pick up level 3 on the Demon Hunter by killing a footman, and indeed, these archers still going for these peasants, as well as the Demon Hunter doing the same. Going to see 2 more peasants go down. Another archer will go down as well, and gonna see another archer being focused down. Nice micro by that footman to make the archer have to run around like that rather than to run straight back. Nicely done, as you can see, and every peasant has gone down. We probably won't see this town hall being canceled. It could, but it probably won't, because that's a very low HP Demon Hunter. He's microing very well, but he is still taking damage, so he might actually be able to manage to cancel this. But if he does, it almost looks like he might have too much of it. It might force a surround, and he's going to cancel that and run out with that. Very nice. Will he be forced to TV? Yes, he will at 28 HP. Could not risk a damage hit from that. He probably would have lived, but was not really worth the risk of trying to find out. So he was able to cancel that. Cost him a bunch of archers, but he is now tier 2, and it sounds like he's putting up maybe a Hunter's Hall. Yes, indeed, a Hunter's Hall is going up in the back of his base, and he is going to go to the Tavern of the Map, most likely pick up a Panda or maybe even a Naga, because sometimes you'll see that when, oh, definitely going to be the Panda then in this case, and he's just going to go ahead and try to keep this from going up, cancel it, slow it down as much as possible, just try to delay. And we do actually see a Tree of Life going up right there as well. It's already up in his base, which I was kind of thinking, one of the things, it's very late Hunter's Hall. It generally indicates something like, you know, maybe a fast expansion or something like that. The Panda might actually get surrounded. Does he have any shop items? No items to get that Panda out of there. So this Panda is indeed going to go down. Really nothing that can be done, but he will be able to use a Breath of Fire. One final Breath of Fire. He could do one more if he could live just a little bit longer, but unfortunately for him, he will die. And the Demon Hunter now actually in a surrounded position by that farm block, but not going to be a hugely issue for him because he will just walk right out of that. No problem. Of course, the human player is trying his best, you know, just to kill these units, surround them, pick them off where he can. He's starting to amass a decent army with footmen. One of the things that we would really like to see is a shop up for the human player somewhere on the map, but we don't quite have that just yet. Meanwhile, that Demon Hunter once again running back towards this expansion. Then see him using these footmen trying to form a line, a wall to block the Demon Hunter from coming over here and to slow this down any more than he already has, which he's delayed it quite a lot. It's already 7.5 minutes in the game. This was a very fairly fast expansion, fairly standard for when you want timing for when you want to put this expansion up. But it's one of those situations where when that happens, you have to go for it. Now over here we can see that the Sock or eMaLfans, whoever he is going to come in here. He's going to try to start doing a little bit of harass, try to cancel. He did cancel one of those Ancient Lords. I think he killed 2 Wisps in total, which not bad. He might have killed 1, but I think 2. And will he get the cancel? Yes, indeed, one more cancel. Both players doing very, very nice, aggressive play. And we're going to have that Tree of Life walking on over here to go ahead and place down an expansion at this slot right here. That's going to be a great time for eMaLfans to say, hey, well, since you have an expansion, as you creep it, maybe I'm going to be able to do a lot of harass and delay like you did to me. There was him going ahead and fighting a Wisp that was over there, you know. Meanwhile, this shop, this Arcane Vault, about to finish, which was really nice that he was able to have that time to go ahead and do a little bit of damage to a Wisp right there because, hey, why not? He had to wait for the shop to go up anyway. Now he's going to go ahead and use all of this stuff, the regeneration as well as the clarity, to try to start healing up. And there's a Demon Hunter coming right back in here. And the question is this begun? No, it's not begun creeping just yet. He's decided, I'm going to do a little bit more damage to the human base before I go back to my base or try to put up my own expansion. I'm going to see a very nice Breath of Fire finishing off a footman right there. Of course, this Archmage is getting very low and another mana burn. Going to be able to take out all of his mana. And we're going to see him trying very hard to take down this Arcane Tower. If this Arcane Tower dies, that would be really unfortunate for him, but he is mass repairing it with a peasant that's only got 10 life, so very, very low. And he does still have that potion of invulnerability on the Archmage, so he could potentially even do a little bit of a maybe baiting with it because he knows it's not really in any real danger, but he doesn't really want to end up wasting that potion either. Now we will see that Demon Hunter gone in for the kill on that peasant, but he will be able to find himself in a trap position and he is going to die. That is, oh no, he's not. He's going to get staffed out with his Staff of Preservation by the Panda. Okay, that was really good play because not only did he, well, basically he was able to force the potion of invulnerability off that Archmage very early on, which is something that he does not want to have to do in the early game, not even a little bit. But some Dryads are out on the field, and it is time for this Night Elf player to go ahead and start creeping out this expansion slot. And guess who shows up? Indeed, it's going to be none other than eMaLfans, bringing in a footman to try to block this Tree of Life from running back too far that way. And he is going to try to take this down with the help of these creeps, and he might just be able to do so. As you can see, there's no wisp here to repair it. Are they coming? They're on their way, but it's going to go down nonetheless. No way that he could save that. He just was not quite prepared for it. And indeed, he's going to maybe try to finish this creep off regardless. The Archmage is pretty low, so he's going to have to play a little bit carefully. He doesn't have enough mana to summon anything else, so indeed he's going to back off. And the Elf player should be able to finish this creep off without too much trouble. He's bringing in an Ancient of War in here to help tank here in just a second, but he can also particularly use that to try to get another expansion down here in just one more moment. Over here we can see that the Elf player has opted to go straight into Tier 3. Well, straight into Tier 3. Go into Tier 3 before he even decided to creep this out, because he did already have that expansion down. He probably thought he would might have had that secured. Really kind of surprised he didn't have some wisps there to repair, but nonetheless that happened. We did see that eMaLfans tried to creep this maybe, or just pulled that camp out just a little bit. I'm not quite sure, but he's bought some items. He has got a tower up right there, a guard tower, as well as 2 more being about to finish. And indeed, by the way, just to mention one more time, this Town Hall with level 1 Masonry is sitting at 1800 HP because, again, it's not live. These Masonry upgrades each provide 20% health bonus rather than 10% to the human buildings, which is going to be a little bit of an issue for the Elf player, but really, it's not a massive... The balance changes don't really massively change things in this matchup. And this Archmage running very much suicidally into that Goblin Merchant picks up both an Invisibility Potion as well as a Dust of Appearance, and what will he do? Will he try to go back and pick up the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability? He could, but it would be a completely pointless exercise because the Demon Hunter was able to beat him to that. Meanwhile, we'll see one of these footmen getting ensnared by the creeps, and it's going to get picked off with the Demon Hunter picking off the other one. The Demon Hunter is now at level 4. Fan is sitting at level 2 with a Potion of Greater Mana. Very nice. And the Tree of Life for the Nano player, it's about done at this point for that expansion to go up. We can see that this expansion has already mined about 2,000 gold. So the human player is slightly ahead right now in terms of economy, because both players ended up having a lot of delays suffered this game. So one of those situations where it's not super thrilling for either player, but they're doing what they can. Down here we will look at eMaLfans tech now. Sitting at keep, getting an Arcane Sanctum up. Is that all he's got? Yes, indeed, an Arcane Sanctum, as well as a Mountain King. Going to be researching improved lumber harvesting, something he desperately wants to have. And he's probably going to feel pretty comfortable sitting at just 1 level of Masonry upgrade, because again, it is 20% benefit rather than 10. So that's pretty strong. Over here we can see an Alchemist being picked up as the second hero for Mr. eMaLfans, indeed, and that's going to let him do a lot of damage, because as you can see, he immediately chose to use Acid Bomb. An Acid Bomb, it hurts. Reduces your armor by, I think, about 4. We'll have to see exactly what number it is, but it's negative 2.1, and I think it's 4. Maybe it's 3 at level 1? It might be 3. It looks like it's 3, negative 2.1? No. Yeah. 3. Yeah. Okay. It's player's forces are under attack. And Alchemist is a great hero. This is one of the coolest parts of this replay, is that it's an Alchemist as the second hero. And if you came down here, you could see that he was faking a Mountain King, which was really cool. So if the Elf player had came down and scouted, he would have thought, oh, he's getting a regular hero. But nope. Surprise, surprise, Mr. Night Elf player, surprise. These are fully upgraded Druids of the Claw. These are sitting at Master Tech, which means they can go into bear form. The Panda has been creeping pretty nicely. He is sitting at level 3. Over here we can see that the Alchemist, not quite level 2. He's trying to creep that out. Does pick up a healing scroll on the Archmage and on the Alchemist, so both players there. Going to TP out because he can't really handle this Jack and tries to kill that. Oh, he does get it, but unfortunately a Tome of Knowledge drops that he was not quite able to get, but he did get the experience, and that's what he wanted more than anything else right there. And he's going to go ahead and immediately pop a Potion of Regeneration as well as a Clarity on both heroes, which means no more Clarities in the shop for at least a little while, but that's okay because he needs the mana, and he does have to be slightly concerned about mana burn. However, you can see that GnayCiGam, the Elf player, is creeping out, and you will go ahead and use Rejuvenation on his Demon Hunter to tank that. It's kind of really good. He's got very high amounts of armor, as you can see, so it allows him to take a lot of physical damage. Over here we're going to see that Mr. A1 Sock is going to go ahead and cast an Acid Bomb on this creep, let the Water Elemental tank for as long as he can, and he's going to do a lot of damage with just 2 footmen and 2 heroes. That Acid Bomb is going to allow him to creep quite easily, and he does pick up a Lionhorn of Scorn, which of course gives you +1 to all of your units. Not to be confused with what's it called. It picks up a Tome of Experience, and that actually does come into the patch log there, does change the things right there, because again, it's 150 experience in this patch rather than 100, which would be on live. Very low HP footmans here, but not a problem. It's going to finish this creep out, no issues. Going to be very close to level 3 on that Alchemist, and of course very close to level 4 on the Archmage as well. We'll look down here, we can look at this, what's it called? Oh, here we can see a couple of mortar teams as well as a flying machine. They've managed to break into this little enclave, whatever you want to call it. And with this division granted by the flying machine, let's just take a look at A1 Sucks vision, that flying machine. I don't know if he can really hurt it too much. He can kill it, that would work. With the Mr. Pandarian Brewmaster, and also can hit these units as well if you would want to. I'm not sure what this mortar team is doing. I think he just kind of messed up. And that flying machine, unfortunately for him, will end up going down, but he can still attack ground if he wants to. Not too big of a deal. And he's just doing a nice amount of harass right there like that. So it's kind of cool, kind of clever. I'm going to be seeing some nice upgrades up here for the mortar teams. They're already at 1 attack upgrade. They are getting their 2nd attack upgrade, making more mortar teams. And with the Alchemist as that hero, as the 2nd hero, it gives him a lot of ability to actually fight if there is an engagement that happens, even though he's going with mortar teams, because he's going to have that extra acid bomb, which is the armor reduction. That is actually going to give him really the ability to fight if he does mass up on mortar teams. So it's kind of an interesting strategy when you look at it. Building lots of towers in odd positions, kind of doing that mainly because 2 reasons. One, you want to have some towers if you're owning this many mortar teams anyway. Makes you tanky versus those bears. But secondly, because a panda, when they're all clumped up, a panda just like, eats them all. So you don't want that. And also, it's kind of giving a little bit of control, maybe to come over here and expand on this side of the map if you would like to, or even down here if he wants to, kind of to have control of this middle part of the map. It gives him a lot more safety back there, in other words. And here we can see him bringing in a water elemental to have the division granted to him once again. One cool thing to do in this case would be invisibility. I don't know if he's going to do that, but it would be really cool. He's going to go for Magic Sentry instead, which is very useful. And I think that'll give him the ability to use reveals from the Arcane Towers. Indeed it does, and that also works just fine. And with these guys right here, you can move them right there, perhaps. But then if he does, and Dryad's move over to this side, that's not going to work too well. So he's definitely going to have to bring the mortar teams into this fight. And this fight goes underway with the elf player deciding to try to focus that Alchemist down. He does have a lot of HP, but he doesn't have a lot of armor. So physical damage is still pretty good against him. You're going to see a mana burn on him, and he is going to have to be very careful. Sorry, very careful to not get killed right there. And these towers are playing their role, also with the level 2 masonry upgrade. Why not? Does quite a bit of damage. Makes these towers very tanky at 700 HP. You're gonna see some focus on the Archmage. The Archmage will TP to this location. Not a huge deal, but it will allow the human player to regroup his army, cast both the Clarity and the Regeneration Scroll. And with these breakers, he should have no problems cleaning this army up, and there you go. The Nettle player will retreat. Now, again, one of the things... here we go. GnayCiGam finding a way to actually counter or deal with this mortar harass by using this Ancient of War to eat away these trees. Now you can see the bear. It is slowed, so he's going to get snapped on out. Panda's also slowed, but that Panda's level 4, so he's getting a lot of experience, as well as that Demon Hunter. So down here we can see another scout tower going down. It looks like we're just seeing a strategy of making my towers move a kind of a big safe path towards your base, which is quite clever, I think. Level 5 being picked up by the panda. He's already used one of the potions of greater manas, and just trying to fight his way here. And we can see these bears, they haven't really bothered with attack upgrades, they've just bothered with armor. They want to be as durable as possible here. Same with the Spellbreakers. Will they be able to take that Arcane Tower down? They can if they focus it, but do they have the time to focus it? He's trying to fight this human army while these towers aren't up. If you can force him back, then that should be pretty decent, and indeed, he's going to try to do that. Will take that down, gets to cancel off a beautiful timing by eMaLfans. He takes that Ancient of War down, and that Demon Hunter's taking a lot of damage, but he does have a staff on the panda, so he was going to be able to staff him out, no problem. Had the Druid Call in bear form, in caster form, we'll say. Ready to cast a Rejuvenation on the Demon Hunter, but I don't think he had the mana for it, and he went back into bear form. A couple Spellbreakers hit him, went down to 0 mana. Over here we can see, though, even though the Ancient of War was able to clear this out and prevent the mortar teams harassing right here without too much of a kind of concerned of taking damage, with this path now open, it also means that if the human player wins a fight like he just did, he can kind of just walk straight through here and start doing some damage with his whole army if he wants to. As we can see, Night Elf player's army is back at the main. Gonna be, he bought something with the Demon Hunter. Let's see, 2 scrolls of healing as well as a potion of lesser invulnerability. Gonna pop one of those scrolls onto the panda most likely. And we got a couple of fairy dragons coming in, 5 in fact. 5 fairy dragons, and again, still the 0 attack upgrades and 2 armor upgrades. Just making sure your army is nice and durable, nice and tanky. More towers from eMaLfans going down. Why not? As long as he wants to make this path, that's what he's going to be doing. And it makes, I mean, it's very interesting. I don't know quite what the implication is if he was able to get this huge army of towers pathing over to the Night Elf's expansion, but it does mean that the Elf would almost certainly lose this expansion if that happens. But here we can see this fight going now. These bears going straight onto a guard tower. A very nice haze fire coming in from that panda. Already used the potion of greater mana. Did buy a potion of mana, however, just because after that he needs to fight. And the Archmage still in front, taking a lot of damage as well. Those fairy dragons just really murdering these casters back here. Gonna see one of those mortar teams going down. But we do have one more scroll of healing ready to pop whenever he needs it. Potion of Blessing Invulnerability will be popped on the Demon Hunter. And the human army has been healed up just a little bit, but those towers are taking a lot of punishment. Ooh, is that Alchemist going to take a little bit of focus fire there? He's going to back up. Picks up level 4. Panda getting decently close to level 6. There's the Chemical Rage. Makes him really super nice. And he's going to start focusing down that Panda. Here comes a pretty decent haze fire. Getting 3 units right there. Going to see a little bit of a dispel. It doesn't really do too terribly much because you're still stuck in the haze fire effect. There's not anything you can do about it. And we can see these flying machines. They're just trying to kill the fairy dragons, but they have so much armor. They have 6 plus 12 now in this mana flare state. They were very unlikely to die. Alchemist taking a lot of damage. Going to pop the potion of lesser invulnerability. Trying to kill some more of these units here. As you can see, these bears very low. But again, this armor upgrade strategy is working out really, really well for him because there's not a whole lot of damage coming out from Sok's army. Well, not a lot coming out with that much armor upgrade. I mean, these bears sitting at 9 armor. It's quite insane. Next question is, though, will he actually be able to use any kind of damage to take down this Tree of Life? And the question is, or the answer is, I don't know. Well, we are starting to run out of money at the main bases. There's no money left. And this gold mine has 2,000 more gold mine in it, 2,000 more gold in it than this one does because of the timing of the expansions going down, or the timing difference between when they went became function. Over here, eMaLfans gonna pick up level 5 on his Archmage. Maybe trying to get level 5 on the Alchemist as well, but we'll see here. It looks like he's gonna try to. He'll need a little bit more experience than this to do it, but he will be able to pick up a decent amount of experience right here from this nonetheless. Picks up a Talisman of Evasion as well as some health, which is great items, because like I said before, this guy has a ton of life, and life's really what you want. Over here we can see that eMaLfans trying to put up an expansion. But the human player is like, I'm ready for it. Question is, does eMaLfans go straight for this expansion, or does he try to defend this? I don't know. That Demon Hunter doesn't have a TP, neither does this Panda, so he could easily take this down, and indeed, that's what he's going to do. Really nice play coming in from eMaLfans, because again, this has still 6,500 gold in it, and this is the Elf's only money right now. This is his only income. He does have some Wisp over here. He's probably walking a Tree of Life, a Tree of Eternity, very slowly across the map. Did not get the Ancient's Boon upgrade. Metamorphosis, however, will come in. A level 6 Demon Hunter might turn this game around nonetheless, because certainly right now, eMaLfans is in the lead. He's going to right-click on this Town Hall. Does a lot of damage, even with the 2 levels of Masonry upgrade, and the Panda's getting pretty close to level 6 as well. Now, eMaLfans still trying to take a pretty decent position, because he has so much range right now, and just using these buildings to block things, trying to keep his main casters back behind the range of the mana flared fairy dragons. Panda's coming around the back right now, which might kind of screw up eMaLfans' position just a little bit. eMaLfans loses his Town Hall. How much time left on that Metamorphosis? Enough to finish this fight easily. Is there a TP? There's no TP. There's no way this human's going to get out of this fight, so he's careful and win the fight, or he's going to lose it. The Metamorphosis kills a mortar team. Level 5 Panda, very close to level 6. Very close. About to pick it up, it looks like. And indeed, there it is. The human player has kind of won the fight, but in terms of the unit and army, but he's dealing with a level 6 Panda now and a level 6 Alchemist, or a level 6 Alchemist? No, wow. A level 6 Panda and a level 6 Demon Hunter. And the Elf player has finally rooted down his big old Tree of Eternity. So, question is, what does eMaLfans do in response? Because he's getting close to level 6 as well. But the big thing is that if his opponent starts getting gold income and he doesn't have gold income, then he's going to lose. And he's mining some wood here. I'm kind of curious if he's going to try to build some towers in there or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. And maybe he's coming over here to creep out a little bit just to get the gold and the item, maybe? Sounds about right. It's pretty easy to creep nonetheless. Shouldn't take a lot of damage from it. That big shockwave hit all those breakers. Really nice micro from eMaLfans. Didn't take really any damage from that, I don't think. So, meanwhile, the priests are healing stuff, but they're also getting a level 2 Brilliant Sword, filling up their mana, so not bad. Oh, and a Tome of Experience being picked up by that Alchemist. That could be a big deal. Can't wait to see just how close he is to level 6. Halfway. Kind of far away, but we'll see. We'll take down a Wisp right there, or it's going to get detonated, so, you know, same thing, right? And this is up and running, so as you can see, he's starting to get gold from that. Lots of items on that panda. Lots of items. Make sure that he's going to be able to cast his ultimate if he wants to, no problem at all. And indeed, that Demon Hunter's going to get slowed, but he will get TP'd, but it's right over here to this base. Now, the question is, how long on the Metamorphosis cooldown? Because that is going to decide this fight. I think the Panda ult's really nice, but will it stop this Demon Hunter from dying? I doesn't look like that. It looks like that Demon Hunter might die, although he is going to cast a nice Cyclone on the Alchemist, trying to get that Demon Hunter out of here with a nice dispel by the Dryad. It looks like he's going to be able to get out just in the nick of time. But this expansion still is in danger. He has to run that Demon Hunter all the way back. He doesn't have any way to run back. He doesn't have any way to TP into the fight. He's going to have to run all the way back as well. And so we're going to see now, if all 3 of these little guys die, he's in trouble. But this guy has a little wind walk, so he can kind of get out without too much trouble, probably. Taking a lot of damage, though, from that ultimate from the Panda. Kind of like free damage in a sense. And also these Dryads are doing a pretty good job. So it looks like the Elf player is going to be able to hold this expansion. If he does that, then the chances of eMaLfans winning this game are going to drop drastically, unless he can pick up level 6 on the Alchemist, at which point he can start doing some hit and runs using his gold. He will just need to find a way to secure an expansion, and this is almost back up for him. So, you know, it could still work out for him. He just needs to be really careful. The next problem, though, is when is that Demon Hunter's Metamorphosis going to kick back in? Probably pretty soon. That's right, it's very low on life. It would be really nice for him to go ahead and get the kill, because he does need the experience. And also, if he can get level 6 on the Archmage, that would also do pretty wonderful things for him, because then he can start mass teething around the map and try to take map control. But again, he still needs a way to defend against Metamorphosis, which doesn't look like he's going to have one, especially because he might lose this Town Hall right now. Oh, Metamorphosis coming back in already, and he doesn't have any more units. This looks really bad for eMaLfans. I'm not sure he's going to be able to defend this. Down goes the Arcane Tower. Down goes the Guard Tower almost certainly. And these towers just aren't doing any damage to that Metamorphosis Demon Hunter at all. And the level 6 Demon Hunter right there. This, or a level 6 Panda as well. This is looking like it might be a good game. We're going to see eMaLfans try to fight to the end of it, but this looks like this is the end of it right now. The Alchemist goes down. GG is called. Really well played by GnayCiGam. And, of course, great strategy by eMaLfans. It almost worked. Metamorphosis just put a big wrench in it. So, I think it was a really cool strategy. I definitely enjoyed watching it. This is the first game we're going to do. Going to go into a second game right after this. Just going to take a quick little 3 or 4 or 5 minute break, something like that. And we'll be right back. So, if you're watching this on YouTube, there should be a little annotation here so you can go to the next game. And if you're watching it on the Twitch, I'll be back in